Now, I'm going to do this last problem down here. Typically, these are the ones that give us kind of a problem in long division. And yes, I know, typically in real life, you would be doing this on your calculator. I get that, I know it, but I know that we want to be able to do division with a 2-digit divisor, even though it takes a little bit of work. We're still going to do this, okay? So we're gonna start, like we usually do, putting our $sign and our decimal point in here. Okay, 18 goes into 7 how many times? None, right? We're gonna leave it. We gotta go to the next one. 18 into 76. Okay, now we know that works, but we don't know our 18's times table, multiplication table, right? So what we're going to do here is we're going to have to, just like with long division without money and without decimals, we are going to have to use our reasoning and our estimating and our guesstimating skills, okay? And then we are going to have to make sure that when we subtract, we really do a good job of checking to make sure that our quotient was right and that it was not too much or too little. So let's do this one together. 18 into 76. Well, let's think about that. Let's do some rounding. Let's say 18 is pretty close to 20, okay? So if we change this to 20, if we say this is about 20, and we're seeing how many times it goes into 76. Well, 76 is pretty close to what number? It's pretty close to 80. And 80 divided by 20 sure would be a little bit easier to guess. So how many times would 20 go into 80? That would go in 4 times. So that is going to be our best estimate or guesstimate of how many times 18 goes into 76. 20 goes into 80 about 4 times, so let's start there. Let's try it. If it doesn't work, we are going to have to change this number. If it's too much, say we get 79. Well, that doesn't fit into 76, so we need to change this 4 to a 3 to make it less. Let's say we did our multiplication and this ended up to be I'm sorry, I think I just said that wrong. Say it ends up to be 85. We know that's going to be too much, so this 4 would need to be less. All right? Sorry, I lost track of that there. But let's say if you did the multiplication, let me just give you this example quick. What if you got, let's say you got 56 when you multiplied. Now this isn't what you're going to get, but what if you did? What if you got 56 and you subtracted and you got 20 and you said, oh wait, 20 isn't less than 18 when you checked it? What would you do? You would have to go back up to this 4 right here, and you would say, I can actually add another one in there. I could raise it to 5 because I had too much left remaining, so I can add another one. Okay, that's important that you know what to do if, when you multiply, if you get too much right here or too little. If you get too much, then you're gonna have to go back and make this a little bit less because you had too much. If you get too little, then you need to go back and you need to add some more to here. Okay, hopefully that rings a bell back from when we were doing 2-digit division. All right, let's go back to our money problem here. We said 18 went into 76 4 times. Let's do the multiplication, okay? And we already said there's 2 ways you can do the multiplication. Over here, you can say 18 times 4 is 32, 4, 5, 6, 7, 72. And you're going to put that 72 in here. Now, some of you might be able to actually do it this way. Let me just show you quick for those of you that might be able to do it a little quicker way. But again, be careful. I don't want you to do the quickest way if it's not the easiest way. You also can do this. You can say, okay, 4 times 8 is 32, right? So you're going to carry the 3 just like you would if you were doing it on the side, 32. Okay, now you take the 4 times the 1 is 4 plus 3 is 7, and you get 72. Okay, whether or not you do it over here on the side or whether or not you are able to do it actually in your problem, I'm fine with either way. Please just make sure that you're doing accurate math. Okay, so let's get back to our problem. Subtract 72 and we get 4. 4 is definitely less than 18, so we can go ahead and feel free to bring down our 8 and start all over. Remember, when you bring something down, no matter what, you have to go through the next 5 steps. So 18 goes into 48. All right, well, let's use our rounding skills again. This is about 20 and 48. Let's round that down to 40 to make it easy. 20 would go into 40 twice. So let's put our 2 up here. This may or may not work, okay? I'm not sure. Maybe too little, it may be too much. Let's see. 18 times 2 is 36. Or you can do it right on your problem. 36. We're going to subtract and we get 12. 12 is less than 18. Perfect. Okay, that's great. That's what we needed to keep moving along. So what are we going to do next? We are going to bring down our 6. All right, here we go with another big one. 18 into 126. All right, we already said we can kind of round this to 20. And we could kind of round this to 120. So 20 goes into 120 how many times? Well, 2 goes into 12 6 times. So 20 would go into 120 6 times also. So let's try that. It may or may not work. This is our guesstimate. And then over here, we're gonna do the math and we're gonna see if it does work. 6 plus 4 is 108. Well, it definitely fits in there. So let's try and subtract and make sure that we end up with a remainder that's less than 18. This changes to a 1. Oh, look at that. We ended up with a remainder of 18. Remember, after you subtract, it has to be less than the divisor. Is it less than the divisor? It's not. What does that mean? That means that this 6 that we put in right here isn't enough. If we have 18 left over, that means we can fit one more 18 in there. So now we gotta back it up. Okay, we gotta take this. We have to erase this because this was based on 6. So let's erase this all and get back to our 126. And you're gonna need to do this with 2-digit division. You just are, because you're not gonna always get it perfect. Let's go back and erase this 6. That wasn't enough, we figured that out. Let's try 7. 18 times 7 is 56. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 5 is 12. 126, well, look at that. That fit in there perfectly. A remainder of 0 means we don't need to keep going because we ended up perfectly with it divided and turning into $4.27. Okay, that gives you 4 different types of problems. It looks like a lot, but really it's not. It's not much different than what you have already done. All you're doing is adding a dollar sign, and all you are doing is making sure that if it doesn't come out even to the nearest penny, or even to the exact penny, you're going to go one step further, right? You're going to go out to out to a thousandth spot, out to a thousandth spot, out to a thousandth spot, just to figure out what the nearest penny is. So you can round to the nearest hundredth spot or to the nearest penny. Okay, I believe in you guys. You've got this. Go ahead and do your homework, and you should do great.